Welcome to Yeshiva Daf Shir sponsor Luinish Masam Yakushom Le'Abbas Yitzchok. We're holding Metzia Daf Kuf Gimel. We're starting in the top of the Hamud, in 4 lines at the top. Someone rented a house to his friend for 10 years. The cost of Leishtoro, and he wrote a star. And he says, you already lived here for 5 years. He's never to say that you already had it for 5 years. What's exactly the case? So we have a Mechlikes Rashi Tosuf here. Rashi learns that he has a star that has no date. There's no date on the star. So I'm going to give you the house for 10 years. Because it says, what do you mean? I say, because after a while, by the way, you're here for 5 years. We're talking about only for 3 years. So he says, he's never, even though there's no date. Tosfos learns the landlord. The Tosfos says, Pshat is that he told him, you can be here for 10 years and use every year the amount of 10 zehuvim. After 5 years, he knows the date. He says, by the way, you were 5 years and you used 10 zehuvim a year. That's half. And he says, no, I was here for 5 years, but I didn't do 10 zehuvim a year. I just did 30 throughout 5 years. So the argument is that he actually have the usage that he deserves in it. Let's say a guy goes to someone and says, you lend me 100. He said, I paid back half. Here, what is the shtar meant to do? It meant to be goyve, to extract money. It means the power you buy if he did pay it back. Write on it, parua. Or write on it a shaver. You know why I have a star over here? The only reason I have a star is in order for you, it should not be chazaka. Right? If a person says that someone has a karka for 3 years, that's what we're getting to Bava, Beis Hashem. So you say that 3 years have a chazaka. So 3 years it becomes a muhsik. So I have a star, you know, this land belongs to me and I'm renting it to you. But now that's what you were using for the schirus. So that's what we didn't write up here.
Today's stuff.
Yeah.
So you're doing double today.
No.
Oh, you're sure. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if I did.
Omar Nachman. Right. Omar Nachman. Shoyel Adam B'tuvoy Lo'ilom. What does it mean, Shoyel Adam B'tuvoy Lo'ilom? A person, you did it right? No. Shoyel Adam B'tuvoy Lo'ilom. A person can borrow a field B'tuvoy forever. What does it mean B'tuvoy? If you look at Rashi, Rashi says, Imradom Kli L'chaveir V'amar Shileni B'tuvoy. So I want to enjoy B'tuvoy. V'amalei Ein says, okay, Sho'u L'lo'ilom. It's going to be barred forever. Kozman Shu Ro'ilom Malacha. Why? Da B'tuvoy Mashal Kozman Shu Tuvoy. If you do Mechziroi Choyz Adot L'Kishtach. Tuvoy means I want to be able to use it. It's all its benefits. To enjoy it fully. So that means forever. Until the item is being used. Other Rishonim, I think Shatam just mentioned one of them. It says B'tuvoy means because he, as Tosfos point says, you have over here, he owes him a favor. And he says, I'm borrowing you something because of the tuvoy that I'm giving you. I give you a lot of tevus, so let me use your item. So in both the pshat, the idea is you could borrow this with no limitations. In return, you can ask it back. It's like part of the deal. Yeah. My brother, the shul, had the kodim to a kinyan. My brother, the Ravashu, had the kotim. He gives him back the handle after it's finished. Used it, gets broken, he gives it back. In other words, he has to give back something. It says, I want you to lend me your axe in order to, or the shovel, in order to plow this field, this orchard. So he's allowed to use that one to go and shovel that field, even though it's maybe a huge field. He can use one shovel for the whole thing. If he told him pardeso, not high pardeso, he said pardeso. Rabbi Bey called pardeso by any, get used for any orchard he wants. He didn't say a specific one. Pardisi, Lashon Rabbi. Rafikvazu called Pardesi Deis. He can do any orchard that he has. He gives him back the handle, which means he gives it back in order to, after the usage and the breakage, he gives back whatever is left to them. So he says, I want you to lend me the garguto. What is the garguto? It is a well of water. And he says, please, can you lend me this well? And then the well broke down. You don't have to rebuild it. He said this, it's over. But if he told them not high garguto, he says garguso, a well, so he has to go and rebuild it because he said, you give me a well. If he said be garguso, right? So he said, what does it mean? He gives him the location of the well. Can go and dig as many wells as he wants until he reaches water. And all this you do kinyan in order to have that dibur to be chal, because if not, what is he giving him? So you do a kinyan, and then he's giving him that obligation. Look the Mishnah. Hamaskir buys the chaveroi v'nofa. Someone rented a house to his friend, and the house broke down. Chayav la'amid lo bais. He has to build him a new house. Hayak koton. It was a small house. Well, it's not a good one. Make a big house. I said, maybe big house is better. No, the guy says, I want a small house. It's easier to keep. Kodol, it was big. I said, I want a large house. Echod le'aser shtayim was one big house. Don't make it two small houses. Shtayim le'aser echod. Each one has a benefit. Lo yifchod melech halonus. Don't say do less windows. Lo yisrael, don't make more windows. Let me dash them. Less windows, less light. More windows, more people can peek in. So you can don't change it. Says the Gemara, what's the case? Normally by ze. I want this house. Nofal ozali, like we said before. That's broken down. It's over. Normally by stam. Give me a house. It wasn't specific. Told him I want a house. So I'll give you any house. Okay, I can give you. So no, they were very specific. I'm going to give you a house, and the house will be the size of 50 by 40, and it has this and has some other windows. He showed him a house. He said, I'm going to give you a house like this. It's sitting on the banks of the river. It means to say, I'll give you a house like this, next to the river. Kamashoi means kazeh, means exactly. So kazeh means exactly. Here's a raya that we say ka, like, it means exactly like the way. Problem in other places in Shas where we say ke, it doesn't mean exact. And the Mepharshim deal with it. But here the Gemara says the word ka means like. And with this, that's what was the end of the 8th parak of Metzia. Now we're going to the 9th parak of Metzia. So the Mishnah. Hamikabel Sodom Mechaver is someone who accepts a field of his friend. What does Mekabel mean? As Rashi puts that right away. Either an Oris is a sharecropper, or is a Chakirus, which is a rental. It's a type of rental where you pay a fixed amount per year. If you have a minute to harvest, you harvest. Lach or Yaakov. If you have a minute to uproot, you have to uproot. Lach or Shacharov. After you do harvest, the people some plow afterwards. Yachosh. Whatever the minute is, that's what you do. The same way they split the grain, so they split teven and kash. What's teven and what's kash? Teven and kash means the straw. What is the difference? So it's interesting because we have it throughout the Torah, throughout Shas, we have a lot of teven and kash. What is the difference between teven and kash? So Torah says over here, a big Yesodis, we'll talk about it, Hashem, in the Shom Achshav and the Dav of this Dav. What is teven and kash? Torah says the difference between teven and kash is that teven is what's cut off with the grain. You have the grain, you have the wheat, and parts of it is not, you don't eat it. That part is called teven, like the straw cut of the grain. What is kash? Kash is the straw which is still connected to the ground. That's what Torah learns. And then according to that, the pasuk it says by power, Rashi brings it. It says the Am Yisrael had to go out the power lekoishish kash letevin. So it says the Torah's name is very gishvat. He had to take kash, which is connected to the ground. Usually, Paro gave them a harvest straw. Now they had to go and take the connected straw and create that into tevin. That's what Rashi learns. Torah says that's what Torah learns. Sorry, Rashi says Shabbos doesn't learn that way. He learns that tevin and kash are both cut to just different parts of the straw, the top part and the bottom part. And then I saw today, someone summarized very nicely, the Vilna Gaon learns differently that tevin and kash is the straw, and tevin is after you cut it to very small pieces, starting to create to use it. So that's the tevin and kash. Anyway, it says over here, if the sharecropper and the owner split the grain, they split also the tevin and kash. Kasher chokim behind, the same way they split the wine. Kachokim, the kuvgimol base, bezmoiris, which are the branches of the vine. Konim is the reed. They want to explain what the reeds are doing over here. They have to provide the reeds, both of them. So we'll explain them. Let's see in a moment. So Gemara. If you harvest, you're not allowed to uproot. If you're up, you don't harvest. Both the owner and the sharecropper could say we're not interested. Why? When you harvest, you can't uproot. When you harvest, you still leave some part connected. Uproot, you completely take it off. If the meaning is to do ktsira, so the sharecropper says, the owner says, don't harvest, don't uproot it, leave something there. I want to have some straw connected to the ground. Just mentions which is it should say here, titkash, not titvan, because teflon is not connected. Okay. And then the sharecropper says, I'm not interested in doing uproot. Uproot is a much harder job. I just want to harvest. If it's if the minig is to uproot and so you can harvest, why they each have a time? The owner of the land says, I want it completely clean, so I want it to uproot and not only harvest. The other one says, I want all the straw. So they can both say, I want it. So just say, you're not allowed to do otherwise. We're explaining. So what's the reason you can't change? Because they both have a taina. They both have something to say. Says the Gemara, if you want to plow afterwards, you can plow. Pshito. So the tzricha be'asher d'loim nakshe is a place where they don't do nikush. Nikush means that you take out the bad weeds. He did weed. So you know what? You know why I did this extra work? So I don't have to do the plowing. You have to come and say very clearly. So even if nobody said anything, come and say, we didn't agree to do different than the Minhag Medina. You have to do Minhag Medina. Hakol asui mayim. It says Hakol Minhag Medina. Wherever you rent ilonos with the land, so even though the land is what the owner harvests, what the owner works, what the sharecropper works on, the trees they just stay there, but you give the trees those to the sharecropper, so you give it there. What's a chiddush? Let's see the kula alman. I was doing a flip side we said before. Everybody agrees with tilta. What's a tilta? So the way Rashi says, and the way Tosafos agrees, tilta means that the owner takes a third, and the sharecropper takes 2/3. Here the owner says, I'll take only a quarter. I'll give you more. The reason why I took less for myself, so I'm not going to give you the trees. I have to be very clear. The fact that you did other bonuses don't change the fact you don't change Minhag Medina. Here Tosafos points out, usually a sharecropper throughout Shas, we know a sharecropper takes less than the owner. Takes a third. Here we're going to taking more. What's Pshat says 2 different types of sharecroppers, depends how much work he needs to do in the field. Says in a place where you don't rent out, so we learned that you don't give the tree. Everybody accepts, the owner takes a quarter. And the sharecropper again agreed to give the owner a third. The reason I gave you more, so at least you give you a portion in the trees. Has to be clear. So the fact that he did a little bit more work, but he gave more, does not give him the right to change B'nei Medina. The Mishnah says, the same way you divide the grain, you divide also the straw. In Bavel, you don't give tevin, you don't give straw to the sugar couple. What's up, Kamina? You see someone doing it, don't learn from it. I'm telling you the rule. The rule is over here, they don't get tevin. What is that? Rashi explains, is they have to do around the field, they make like a little bit of a fence made out of earth. They make a higher earth, a higher level, grade of land, and that's the fence. So the way it works is like this. The first layer of sand is called buchra, second level is called tafta, and the third one is called akafta. The Rashi learns a little differently. It's a different ditches that you do around the field. So these things say like this. Buchra, tafta, akafta, we're going the fence around the field. The kani de chizro, which is the different poles that you put in the ground in order to surround it with thorns. The Bava, the landlord is responsible to do it. The actual thorns, they are reso. That the shurkar has to do. Klo de milso, kol ikar balmo, whatever is the main garden, the main thing, which is the fence and the poles, the Bava. And usually it's so the extra one, which is the thorns, they are reso. So the more of Omar, Rav Yosef. Moro, vizavilo, vidavlo, vizanuka. These are different items they use in the field. So moro is a... Okay. Moro is the pusha, is a not an axe. Translate. Moro and zabila. Moro is like an axe, and zabila is the shovel. A what? A pole and shovel. A hoe and a shovel. Vidavlo is the bucket. Vizarnuko is another type of bucket. Leather bottle. The Bava is the owner's one who has to provide it. Aris abid bayor. But the aris is to come and make the small flows of water of piping that go from one place to another to fill the field with water. The same way they divide the wine, they also divide the zmurs, which are the branches, and the kanim, which are the reeds. Kanim, what's kanim have to do with a vineyard? That's the reeds that hold on the vines. The vines stay on them. What do you tell me? That's the reason. Why they both split the reeds? Because they're the ones that provide the reeds. So you provide the reeds, you also divide the reeds. That's just a reason they give it and then they take it. So that was the Gemara. We'll stop over here. And Be'ez Hashem, in Leil Shavuos, tomorrow night at 12:30, we will start for the Mishnah over here. Everybody is invited. Kol Tov.